Did you know Marvel owns legendary heroes that were born in totally different, now defunct universes? From Miracleman's brutally realistic reinvention to Angela's wild jump from Spawn Hunter to Asgardian goddess, we're exploring 10 icons Marvel rescued from collapsing comic book worlds, forgotten rival publishers, legal chaos, and quiet corporate deals. If you're into comics and nerd content like this, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Miracleman began life in the 1950s as Marvelman, a British answer to Captain Marvel, created by Mick Anglo for L. Miller and Son when Fawcett stopped supplying stories. Decades later, he was revived in the anthology Warrior with brutally realistic tales that helped push superhero comics into the darker, deconstructive style of the 80s. Confusion over who owned Marvelman forced the character off the shelves and into publishing limbo. In 2009, it was finally confirmed that Mick Anglo had always owned Marvelman, and Marvel Comics licensed the character directly from him, rebranding the modern series as Miracleman. Marvel began restoring and reprinting both the vintage and modern runs, crediting Alan Moore only as the original writer. Today, Miracleman sits in Marvel's catalog as a legendary, almost unused nuclear option, a godlike hero whose comeback could shake their universe. Angela started out in Spawn as a heaven-backed bounty hunter, created by Neil Gaiman and Todd McFarlane at Image Comics, long before Marvel entered the picture. Years later, a long legal fight over who truly owned her ended with Gaiman gaining full control. Instead of keeping her in Spawn, he surprised everyone by selling Angela's rights to Marvel for a complete reinvention. That deal alone turned her into comics' most famous transfer. In the Marvel Universe, Angela was reborn as Aldrich Odin's daughter, long-lost sister of Thor, kidnapped as a baby by the secret realm of Heaven. She crashes into reality during Age of Ultron. Then Original Sin reveals her true Asgardian heritage and rewires her entire history. From there, she joins the Guardians of the Galaxy, leads Angela, Asgard's assassin, and even rules as Queen of Hell. That twist raised her from horror sidekick to cosmic star. Prime is the flagship Ultraverse hero, a towering superhuman form created when 13-year-old Kevin Green projects a shell of organic liquid flesh around his real body. He first appeared in Malibu's Prime in 1993, instantly set up as that universe's answer to Superman. On the outside, he looks like a perfect adult powerhouse, but inside he is still an insecure kid trying to act like the kind of hero he sees on TV. That contrast defines him. Prime's world quickly expands as he learns that a shady scientist named Dr. Gross tampered with his DNA as a baby, making Kevin one of many secret Ultras created in a failed government program. He clashes with Prototype, teams up with Ultra Force, and cycles through forms like Space Prime and Spider Prime. When Marvel bought Malibu and later shut the Ultraverse down, Prime and his whole cast were quietly locked away in legal limbo. Nightman is Johnny Domino, a San Francisco saxophone player whose life changes when a runaway cable car, struck by strange jumpstart lightning, slams into his car and drives shrapnel into his brain. He miraculously survives the crash, but wakes up able to hear the evil thoughts of people around him. His pupils stay permanently dilated, giving him incredible night vision and leaving him almost unable to sleep. Those changes push him into heroics. As Nightman, he stalks San Francisco's rooftops, following the radio station of evil in his head to serial killers, corrupt industrialists, and rogue ultras. He tangles with groups like the Freaks, joins big crossover events, and even teams with Wolverine and Gambit. The character was big enough to earn a live-action TV series, but after Marvel bought Malibu, plans to fully relaunch him quietly stalled out. Now he is largely forgotten. Mantra is actually Lukash, an immortal warrior who spends 15 centuries reincarnating into new bodies to fight the sorcerer Boneyard, until a last-ditch spell strands him in the body of Eden Blake, a divorced mother of two with huge latent magic. Forced to live her hectic life and wield the Sword of Fangs every day, he activates mystical armor by invoking the word mantra, becoming the Ultraverse's most reluctant super sorceress. After Malibu launched Mantra in the early 90s, she headlined crossovers like Breakthrough and Godwheel, before Marvel bought the entire Ultraverse line and imposed the Black September reboot. In that shakeup, the Mantra powers moved to Lauren Sherwood, Eden's babysitter, while Lukash Mantra slid into a supporting role. Then the whole universe was cancelled, leaving Mantra owned by Marvel but stuck in legal and editorial limbo. Hardcase is Thomas Tom Hawk, a struggling Hollywood actor whose life changes when the mysterious jumpstart effect from an ancient alien entity floods him with ultra-human power. Suddenly, he can lift trucks, leap city blocks, and survive brutal impacts with ease, and he forms a celebrity hero team called the Squad. That shining dream ends in horror when the monster NME massacres most of the group in a single brutal encounter. Haunted by survivors' guilt, Hardcase tries to retire but keeps getting dragged back into action as one of the Ultraverse's public faces, eventually joining Ultraforce as a frontline powerhouse. His body keeps evolving, granting faster healing whenever he drinks mineral-rich seawater and hinting he may no longer need to breathe at all. When Marvel bought Malibu and shut the line down, Hardcase and his world vanished into the vault. Rune is a nightmarish alien vampire created by Barry Windsor Smith, a winged, skeletal predator who has haunted Earth for countless centuries, worshipped as both demon and dark god. He feeds on life force as much as blood, leaving victims shriveled while he collects strange jewels and eldritch relics. Introduced in Malibu backups before headlining his own book, Rune quickly became the Ultraverse's most terrifying recurring menace. After Marvel bought Malibu, Rune was pushed straight into their cosmic playground, tangling with heroes like Silver Surfer and obsessing over the Infinity Gems as a shortcut to ultimate power. Those wild crossovers briefly made him a living bridge between the Ultraverse and Marvel's main reality. But when corporate and legal issues froze the Ultraverse, Rune disappeared too, leaving a visually iconic villain waiting for a comeback. Sammonal Ray is a burned-out former Planetary Union soldier who drifts into mercenary work on the pleasure world of Tanapal, drinking and brawling alongside his best friend, Roya Sintor. Their luck runs out when Saurian assassins strike, and an eerie orange-eyed Saurian brands Sam's chest with a swirling sigil, blasting him with power and fate. In seconds, he goes from washed-up grunt to chosen champion in a cosmic war he never asked for. The sigil lets Sam control matter and energy, forging weapons from metal, unleashing blasts and even teleporting across battlefields, but it also paints a huge target on his back for Prince Chluserud and other cosmic predators. Sam captains the bitter luck with Roya and Jameric Mir through savage space battles and sigil-bearer conspiracies until CrossGen's collapse ends his saga at 42 issues and Marvel's relaunch leaves him behind. Jiselle Villar starts Mystic as the carefree party girl of Cyrus, more obsessed with fashion, gossip, and nightlife than with the spellbooks that define her world of rigid magic guilds. On the day her hardworking sister Genevieve is meant to ascend as guildmaster of the Nouveau Mage, a ritual explodes out of control, and a blazing sigil appears on Giselle's hand, pulling the spirits of all 7 dead guildmasters into her instead. Those spirits make Jiselle the reluctant mystic guardian of Cyrus, able to tap every school of magic at once, which terrifies the guilds and draws the attention of cosmic powers like the First. She navigates jealous politics, monsters, and a bitter rift with Genevieve while partying through fame as a cult favorite cross-gen heroine until the company's bankruptcy ends Mystic at 43 issues and Marvel quietly shelves her. Simon Archard is the cold, razor-sharp detective at the heart of Ruse, ruling the foggy city of Partington with eidetic memory, ruthless logic, and almost no visible empathy. Criminals whisper his name like a curse as he strolls through impossible crime scenes, crushing alibis in seconds. Beneath that clinical efficiency lies a tangled past with mentor Malcolm Lightbourne and a long shadow of enemies waiting for him to slip once. Simon's greatest asset is Emma Bishop, his seemingly proper assistant who secretly freezes time and bends reality to snatch victims out of danger while they pursue cases orbiting the corrupting, enigmatic prism. Together, they outwit schemers like Miranda Cross and Lightbourne across 26 issues of Victorian detective fantasy and 3 spin-offs, until CrossGen's bankruptcy ends Ruse and Marvel's later revival quietly absorbs him. And that's our tour through 10 iconic heroes Marvel pulled from the wreckage of rival universes and failed publishers. If you enjoyed this kind of deep-cut history, don't forget to drop a like, tell me in the comments which character deserves a comeback, and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.